Louis Board of Aldermen is getting closer to deciding what to do with the Rams settlement money. The list of possibilities is narrowed down to 6, with most people voting to fix the city's water mains after consistent issues for decades. John Kipper is joining me live in the studio now. And John, a lot of ideas coming with this one.
Yeah, Justin. Well, some of the topics that they may pursue would help a lot of city residents. Cheaper or even free childcare, fixing water mains, repairing the streets. People we spoke with backed those ideas, but weren't as fond of using more Rams money on something largely used by tourists.
The streets are so raggedy, you just can't keep your car fixed, and you never know where the next ditch is. Well, actually, the next ditch is about 2 feet away.
City resident Brenda Hayden is clearly concerned about her safety on St. Louis roads and wants the city to use at least some of the Rams money on making her safer while driving.
And to do something about these people that are driving really fast.
Traffic calming measures and pedestrian safety is one of 6 ideas the Board of Aldermen is considering using the Rams settlement money on. That money is now over $250 million. The top vote getter, though, is fixing water mains in the city, something that consistently break, leaving city residents dry.
It's a social justice issue. Having water that's available for everybody it's fundamental.
Keith Miller says fixing water mains helps everybody, and he wants to see it happen. But the Board of Aldermen are also considering another idea, spending some amount of the interest on the Rams money to fund renovations at the convention center.
Convention center, for people who come in, spend money, watch this and that, it seems a little more for the upper reaches than the rest of us.
Construction has been ongoing in the first phase of the convention center renovations downtown. They're using city and county bond money, as well as the $30 million in Rams money to do the project. But last Thursday, Kitty Ratcliffe with the St. Louis Convention and Visitors Commission told the board they may need $30 to $40 million in additional money to complete their project, which includes a large outdoor space.
A lot of obstacles got thrown in the way.
Board President Megan Green says city leaders are considering a plan to use $5 million of the interest of the Rams money and $15 million of interest from federal dollars to partially fund the rest of the renovations. But the residents we spoke with say the city has larger issues to address.
I'd rather them to focus on some other things.
Now, Ratcliffe also said at that meeting that other cities like Nashville and Memphis are spending a lot of money on their convention centers. And if St. Louis wants to compete with them, they have to invest in the convention center to keep bringing in those tourist dollars. Reporting in studio, John Kipper, First Alert 4.
All right, John, follow the money for us tonight. I appreciate it. Well,